Because Afenifere have come out to ask for the Nnamdi Kanu release, and he's not the first person to ask for a release, or neither is the last person, because lots of persons have come out to say that Nnamdi Kanu should be released because he have done or commit any crime in Nigeria. That his crime is because he said that Nigeria should divide, which almost of the elders in the north have said the same thing, but they were not arrested or put in detention. And also, many terrorists have been reinstated into the society, because even the federal government went ahead to reinstate Boko Haram members back into society, that they have changed or they have repented. Imagine people that was known for killing and bombing, the federal government went to bring them back into society. Let me allow you guys take a look at what Dele Farotimi said, and I'll be with you guys in a minute.
There is a lot about our country that could be better, but the reality is that if we truly desire peace in Nigeria, we need to take some hard decisions. One of them is the need to free Nnamdi Kanu. Now, there are multiple allegations against the gentleman, but he's not the only person against whom there have been multiple allegations. What we have in Nigeria today is a country that is functionally a cauldron, burning from almost every corner. And everything that could be done to bring about peace in Nigeria should be embraced. There have been multiple cases of terrorists who have been reintegrated back into our society, a phenomenon that is unique to Nigeria, the radicalization of violent terrorists. Fulani marauders of all sorts have found mercy at the hand of the Nigerian state. The southeast has been burning for some time, and it is not unknown that one of the factors responsible for this is the current incarceration of Nnamdi Kanu. That Afenifere has asked that he should be freed is in the spirit of a search for peace in Nigeria. If he is not to be freed, then he should be speedily tried. This has been the consistent call of Afenifere for years. If they cannot find a way to try him, if we can all admit to ourselves that we essentially have a political problem that has morphed into a terrorism problem, then why should it be so difficult to understand Afenifere's plea that the man should be freed and the path of peaceful reconciliation pursued? If we can make peace with armed terrorists, if we can free Boko Haram killers, why is it so difficult to embrace peace as an option in the southeast? That is the contention of Afenifere. We are not looking into the merit or otherwise of the charges. We're saying this has dragged for this long, nothing of substance has been achieved, peace has not been restored, and there is a veritable path to peace if you free him and engage with the dissidents in the southeast. That has been the position of Afenifere and every well-meaning Nigerian, actually.
I'm on ECPA for the same IPOB. What's your comment on that?
The IPOB itself has said multiple times that Simon Ekpa is not one of theirs. The Nigerian security forces knows who is who. If persons have committed crimes, they should surely be taken before the courts. Ekpa's case may not be conflated with Nnamdi Kanu's case. Nnamdi Kanu has been with the state for some years now. Muhammadu Buhari kept him in a cage for Tinubu to inherit. Tinubu has inherited him. Is he going to keep him in that cage, and then for how long would he be kept there? At what point would we begin the search for peace in the southeast? So when I'm speaking about Nnamdi Kanu, be careful to understand that I'm not conflating his case with that of ECPA. There are two different cases. I am not an Easterner, but I am a Nigerian, and what ails one ails the other. And there really cannot be peace in Nigeria until we confront all these issues that have their roots in age-old grievances and injustices. If and when we've dealt with these, then we can start the journey to some rectitude. But Simon Ekpa Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, I really don't know if the two can be treated exactly the same. And I wouldn't treat them the same.
And I respect that. What about Omoyele Sowore, who was recently, arrested and detained, and he refused to be bailed? What's your comment on that? These are all legal issues.
You see, the problem with the Nigerian police, or shall I say the Nigerian state, and my brother Yele, is that Yele does not know how to pretend that he is anything but a citizen. The Nigerian state, on the other hand, can tolerate anyone except the person who presumes to be a citizen. So the constant battle between Yele and the Nigerian police is merely symptomatic of the relationship between the Nigerian police and the Nigerian public. Yele is your average Nigerian. Your average Nigerian in the sense that he's not asking for anything that the everyday Nigerian should not be demanding. The only thing is that while the everyday Nigerian might be prepared to cower before authority or pretend that everything is fine, Yele does not know how to pretend that everything is fine. So every time Yele moves is a walking violation of the Nigerian system. So the Nigerian state must constantly go after Yele because Yele is constantly demanding an account of the Nigerian state. That is what you see happening all of the time. That the Nigerian state cannot find tolerance for Yele is merely evidence of the fact that the Nigerian state cannot find tolerance for anyone demanding to be treated with some dignity, with some respect, or as a citizen. Shame on the Nigerian state. It's got nothing to do with Yele as a person. It is the Nigerian state that is lacking in the capacity to tolerate its citizens. All he has done is to point at the evils of the state, that the state has never found the grace to change, but has always pursued him instead of changing, tells you just how far we have traveled on the path to madness. Yele is done nothing wrong. Yele is just Yele, a Nigerian who refuses to behave like a slave.
Afenifere has been known to not be directly in support of Yele's, antecedents. What do you have to say about that?
I beg to disagree with that. I beg to disagree with that. Afenifere has always been a progressive organization, and I dare say that there has been, I cannot even recall a single thing that Yele has been for or has ever supported that Afenifere has been against. We are not a reactionary organization. We are essentially a center-left political conglomerate. So how could we possibly have had anything against anybody professing revolutionary ideals? Yele is somebody we consider a natural ally. We might have our disagreements in relation to methodologies from time to time, but other than that, we have zero disagreements with Yele and we consider him a friend.
Firstly, that Southeast is boiling is because Nnamdi Kanu is in detention. That Southeast right now is boiling because how can the government be aware that foreign herdsmen are killing people in Southeast and the occupiers, even the Southeast governor, like I said, a Boy State governor need to be questioned. He need to be removed from the seat. Because how can they inform you 4 days before an attack and you could not do anything to safeguard your people, but rather you are spending money on buying vehicles for the officials? You see how our government don't even care about those they are leading. Like I keep on saying it, federal government in Nigeria don't care about the masses. They care only for themselves and what they will gain. Because how can they tell you that 4 days before that some terrorists will come and attack this community? They gave you expo, but you did not do anything. You did not call any security agency. Did not do anything. On top of that, we have some agencies that came, like police and military soldiers, that came to inform those community that they should stay inside their house, that they will protect them. Then on the day of the attack, none of them were found. You see how this card has been played is linked to each other, that this federal government are linked or their hands is in this insecurity happening in Nigeria, and they cannot even deny it because it's very clear. You came on Saturday and then you inform the community that there will be an attack, but they should stay inside, that you protect them. On the day of the attack, none of you are found. You see how this is linked, and then you came to the community 6 hours after the attack have been done, and they've fired, they've burned houses. Then you came to console the one that lost their lives. How that doesn't make any sense. But I like guys to share your views in the comment section. I'll be with you guys in a minute. Stay tuned, guys.